New York and on the new Hot 97 app. Ebro in the morning on Hot 97.
Ebro in the morning. Laura Stiles, Rosenberg, Donnell Rawlings.
Cancel Donnell.
Cancel
Donnell
Donnell
Rawlings.
has an announcement.
You cannot cancel somebody that's not already on, son. I got to get a career before you knock my
Cancel
career
Donnell.
down.
Donnell has decided that because
I don't
everybody's
want to hurt nobody, but there's one thing. I said it. What's
You're
up?
listening to
Cancel
R.
me?
Kelly.
What?
You're listening to R. Kelly.
On heavy rotation.
Really?
On repeat. So.
Yo, but there's not a piece of your brain that goes, yo, he's talking about little girls in here.
No, it's a piece of my brain that when, I'm old school. So R. Kelly was the best sex years of my life. Whenever I hear ooh, 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 I get an erection right out the gate, son. So I can't
more
remove
information
that
than I
part
needed.
out of my life. Now, moving forward, will I buy any of R. Kelly stuff? No. But too many hits. And people talk about it so much, it's forcing me to listen to
It's
more
top
of
of
it.
mind for you.
Yeah. R. Kelly's only, he had thugs crying with do-rags, talking about, I miss you. I wish you was there. We supposed to do this. So I know, I don't agree with R. Kelly's
Private life.
lifestyle, whatever, but I love his music. And I'm saying this is unfair. I don't know if you know, this story broke a couple days ago. Winnie the Pooh
Oh, yeah, I saw that.
is out there Me Tooing people.
What do you?
You didn't hear about this story?
No.
I thought you was Mr. Pop Culture, Mr. Everything, Mr. Everything. You didn't hear about this? The voice actor that does Winnie the Pooh, can somebody pull it up? Oh, y'all don't do research when I come to the show.
No, we don't do research when you
Yeah,
come.
don't anybody else come up here like, oh, we got to find
Donnell
out.
showed up to
With
the
me,
airport
it's
to
like
say
this.
hello.
His name is Jim Cummings. He
Da, 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 da. Duh. Jim's
his
Cummings.
ex-wife is accusing him of sexual abuse and animal cruelty.
Whoa,
It's another
wait.
one, too.
Like
Animals?
bestiality?
Yeah. It was
he was
something
too caught
else.
up in
He had
being
the trifecta. He had, what was it, rape allegations, dogs, and some other stuff.
Yo.
Sex with dogs?
And here's my thing.
That's what it said. Animal
Sex
abuse.
with-
Sex abuse, animal abuse.
But here's my thing.
And that's what, wait, what does he do with he draws Winnie the Pooh?
No, he's the voice.
He's a voice.
I don't even know what Winnie the Pooh sound like.
In the movies? It's in the movies or just a cartoon?
See how white people break it down? It don't matter if it was a black Winnie the Pooh. If it was a black Winnie the Pooh, it would have made a difference. Now you want to know where is he pooing? Is it in radio? Is it in literature?
I didn't know Winnie the Pooh
Well, I
talked.
only
I don't remember
watched
that.
the cartoon as a kid. I haven't seen the movie.
But here's the point.
Christopher Robin.
Here's the point.
I watched that with, no.
You
There was
watched it.
another
I can't
Pooh
do my
movie
point.
before
Can I-
Christopher Robin.
Did I not start this conversation?
Hey, Donna, hold on one second.
Donnell,
Donna, we're going to get back to you,
He was
man.
accused of abusing his dog.
No, he's gonna be a Caroline.
You had plenty of mic time there.
Yeah, listen. Which one do you see with Issa?
There was a cartoon one. It wasn't the Christopher Robin
Got
one.
it. Where it's half cartoon, half anime.
Yeah, what's that
half
called?
anime.
Live action.
Yeah,
It wasn't.
yeah,
I didn't see
yeah.
that one.
How is Issa, by the way?
Issa's great, man. She was wearing a billionaire. They sent Billionaire Boys Club sent us some free gear.
Oh, that's
Wait, so your
cute.
daughter's getting more BBC than I
This
do
don't
now?
got nothing to
me.
do with Winnie the Pooh. What happened to me?
It's always about
What
you.
happened to the conversation I was talking about? How do we go to talking about kids stuff?
'Cause
And
you
I'm
brought
talking
up my
about
daughter.
and I'm talking about
How's your
why
son,
we
by the
not
way?
muting Winnie the Pooh. And y'all talking about
'Cause
some
Winnie
other
the Pooh's
stuff,
not a
man.
real person,
Why
man.
every time I come up here I get this disrespect?
Every time?
That's what every time. I come into the room and I've seen some of the interviews. Oh, how you doing? Yay. Oh, he's a jolly good fellow. Yo, I come in here and I come in here.
No,
and
I'll
it's
let you
like I'm
video
on
it.
it's like I'm on a date with teenage girls, man. Nobody look up from their phone.
Yo, he walked
they
in.
talk
Walked in,
about
nobody
everything.
said hello.
Nobody said nothing, son.
Honestly,
Yo, I still haven't said hello to him.
no. In all my years, I've never seen that before. He
Hi,
walked in the
Donnell.
room. I didn't turn around. My chair was facing this way. Ebro didn't look up from his phone. It was like he just already worked
And
here.
then as soon as I walked in, you turned into snitch mode. It had nothing. The listeners,
You
nobody
smell
know what's
like
going
weed.
on.
You smell like weed.
What?
You smell like marijuana.
You can, yo, why you sound like a cop, son? yo, cops don't never say we locked him before this smoke. You know, like you smell
you smell like
and you
marijuana,
pronounce
sir.
every letter. You smell like marijuana.
You smell like marijuana, sir.
But you know, when the kids say, "Yo, I want all the smoke," guess who else? Guess who else want all the smoke? Me.
Donnell, he's got all the
All of
smoke.
it.
Yeah,
Has
that's right.
smoking weed helped you?
And what? I don't understand that question. Rephrase it.
Has smoking weed helped you?
In what way? Help?
It made
what
your
way?
life better.
Pick a way.
No, I don't say no. I don't see. Here's the thing with me with marijuana, and I don't think that it's as bad as people think about it. But for me, on the creative side of it, I like marijuana for those reasons.
Okay, but
and
there's
I'm
no pain
selective.
management or
What was that?
sleep aid or.
I'm answering your question. You should let me finish my thought.
Sorry.
Okay. All right.
That was the worst.
No, I'm just saying.
Yo,
back
your Cardi B,
back
okay,
down, sir.
thing.
Okay, back to the
man,
question.
I'm moving
Cannabis with me, I like weed because it releases your inhibitions. Some of the things that you might not think of that are suppressed, weed kind of opens those
But I
senses
think
up.
society
And I
has
have a
embraced
preference.
weed now.
Yeah, of 100%. Society has embraced it because they realize there's money into it. You know what I'm saying?
Fact.
And then you don't hear a lot of negative things about weed. It was only going to happen sooner or later. Once the government figured out a way to make money off of it, they was going to get on it. But for me, being on the West Coast, when you smoke like weed on the East Coast, people don't know about strands. You like, what type of weed is that? That's that fire. That's that gas. But when you go to LA, you become like a sommelier of weed. You won't just smoke anything. You like, what strand is it?
I think
hybrid?
it's a sommelier,
And it's like this.
not sommelier.
Did you know what I was saying?
Yeah.
And when you communicate with someone, that means you understand the words they're saying.
just trying to make you
so
say
we
it better.
communicated it. I don't need to say it better. You understood, and the people
Yo,
understood.
after this interview, we're gonna go back to the days when you
And
used to
this
get on the stage at every comedy club in the city and trash me in Hot 97. We gonna
No,
go.
I didn't know. First off,
No,
I never
no,
trashed
yeah, you did.
Hot 97. I trashed you. I was good with Hot 97, son.
what was
It
you
was Ebro.
saying
It had
about
nothing to do
him?
with the station. I love everything about the station, but this nigga. I'm like,
fuck that nigga.
yo.
What would you say?
Son, okay, first off, you got to understand.
That's why you go to the Breakfast Club all the time.
No, I
we
go to
still
Breakfast
got
Club
beef.
because they let me come. I always want to come here, but you wasn't fucking with me, son.
Nah, that wasn't true. You was always welcome to come. You just couldn't
What?
work here.
I was always.
Always.
He did tell me. 'Cause I used to
What?
see, I've seen you around, and you would complain about Ebro. And
No,
I'll bet-
I didn't complain about
Bro, why you
Ebro.
so
I did not
turned?
complain about Ebro.
Are you traumatized from the
Listen,
incident?
I did not complain
Is
about
there
Ebro.
trauma?
Can I tell you what I said? I never complained about Ebro. What I said was, fuck that nigga, right? I didn't complain about it.
No, you were actually
And
nice
I
about
said,
it.
here's the thing.
And I always said to you, Ebro's not mad at you. I always said Ebro said he's
I never said he was
Yo,
mad
by
at
the way,
me.
I like
I never said he was
Miss
mad
Jones
at me.
hated your guts.
Listen. I never said
Look,
he
you
was
know,
mad
look,
at me.
I dare
I
you to
just
call Miss
said,
Jones
fuck
right
that nigga. What are you going to say about, what's Miss Jones going to say about me? I was funny, she didn't get it? What's she going to say about me? She couldn't control me, but I was good for the show? What the fuck is she going to say
Is that
about
how
me?
she felt, you think?
She's never going to say it, but it's the truth. You ask anybody that used to listen then. I was just being introduced to radio, but I was good at it. We had fun. We created some dope shit back then.
Amazing shit.
And I will say this, and I'm not going to back talk. I'm not going to bad talk her, and I'm not going to bad talk
No, we
you.
love her.
Because
That's
my
girl.
first experience with radio was coming through this.
Yeah.
And the way you used to fuck with me. You know what I'm saying? It used to fuck with me. People say, is there a method to the madness? And I realized later on what the method of madness was because you're a perfectionist. You know what I'm saying? You want to get it done right. I understood that, but the way you communicate those thoughts was awful.
What kind of things would he say,
I mean,
Donnell?
listen.
What kind of things would he say to you?
No, he wouldn't. It wasn't, oh, I don't like that shit. That shit ain't funny, nigga. What is this? How are you relevant?
Oh my God.
What do you bring? This is favorite shit right here. What do you bring to the table? I don't know. That should be in the Ebro-isms. That should be the first thing you say. What the hell you bring to the table? I thought I brought jokes to the table, but I'll say it's like this. It's a relationship that I say a parent would have with their kid. You know what I mean? It's like your kid is doing something good, but if you gas him up too much, it won't make him go harder. It won't make him better. You know what I'm saying? It won't make him better. And now moving forward and me having some experience in radio, I kind of see all the things that he was trying to teach me or us. I understand that. But back then, I was wild. I didn't understand structure. I didn't understand.
Didn't want structure.
Didn't want structure.
Were you drinking in the mornings or no?
You gonna make this a negative conversation, or we gonna keep it positive? I don't know if was your relationship with Ray. Are you that guy? Are you that guy? You text him like, get him right now. That's going too positive, making too many points, sounds too smart. Donnell, are you gay? Are you that dude? I just want to know what type of radio nigga you are, son. You gotta balance. You gotta balance it off, son. What I'm saying,
Donnell
this is what I will
Rawlings
say.
to be at Carolines,
This is what I
man.
will say.
Mother's Day.
I just asked
This
a question.
is what I will say.
Yeah.
Is that Miss Jones and you are two people that are good on radio. I learned a lot. You know what I'm saying? I learned a lot, and as short as my radio career has been, a lot of things that I do, I reflect back on where I learned that. You know what I'm saying? I'll tell you something simple as this is simple. This is radio talk. Something serious is taking a phone call. I remember we used to take phone calls, and then sometimes people would get winded You know what I mean? They would get Winnie, they keep talking. And I was like, damn, Miss Jones is so rude. No, she ain't got time for the bullshit. That's right. If this conversation is not going where I wanted to go, then we're going to keep it moving. Right. Boom, 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 boom. And I also learned, like, it's,
pacing.
Basic pacing stuff. And you can have, it's better to have a string of callers that come in bam, 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 than one caller, unless that one caller is that engaging, then you can rock with that.
Like you do an amazing job on stage. You end on a high. Like if you watch Donnell Rawlings this week at Carolines, you'll notice he come out, he's hitting you. And then on the end, boom, out of there. It ain't I saw you.
And you know what?
Radio
Ebro,
City with Dave when Dave did his string show.
Yes, and that was a good time. I'm glad you got to see that. But another thing
you on?
I was on. But here's the thing, Ebro. This is why our relationship has changed that much. That's your thoughts of me now, but some 15 years ago, and this is why I said I didn't fuck with that nigga. I was at the Boston Comedy Club, and I had a set. I don't know. Sometimes you can have a set that's just don't pop off like you want. And when you have that set, you don't want this nigga to be in there. You looked at me, you said, you ain't funny. Do you understand that's the N-word in comedy?
Yo, it is.
That's the C word for white girl. That's the, you ain't funny? You ain't funny.
Why would you say that to him? Why would you do that?
Because he didn't know funny.
No.
No, because you ain't funny.
Bad.
Yo,
I forgot how we got there. We was
no, nigga, I don't know how we got there, but you said you ain't funny.
Like, you ain't funny though.
And I was like, ooh, people don't say that about me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was like, he said, you ain't, I was like, you know, like, you ain't, hold on, what's going on? You know, that day, I might have been off, but from that day on, that's when I was like, I can't stand this thing.
It's over.
And you were totally reasonable. It was reasonable for you to feel that way.
Yeah, of course. But he didn't.
Said that to you?
I don't think he remembered that.
Now, you brought up something interesting, which I think is an interesting topic, what words mean to different people. You said the C word, cunt, to a white girl.
Right.
You probably should have just left it in.
Right.
Well, I can't even say it we could curse and say everything else, but on a recorded video, I can't even say cunt. I didn't say it to someone. I said the word.
Well,
and then I said nigga 3 times. You ain't said shit,
you're black.
son.
He's not a woman.
Well, no, I'm asking, though.
What I just said made sense. No, don't.
No, I understand what you're saying now.
Sense. You're black. You can say the N-word. He's not a woman. He can't say the T-word. I can't say any word.
So what you saying? I can say it just.
I don't have anything. I'll just
Well, you could do Jewish slurs.
Honk. I don't even feel comfortable with the Jewish slur.
Yeah, we don't know. White people ain't got no words that really stick. Like cracker, they all sound like the end of a punchline. Cracker, hunky, they don't sound right.
But
a new one.
You said C word to white women as if the C word to black women is not offensive.
Yeah,
you call a black woman a cunt. She might say, "What's that?"
You want to try it? That's a game I'm not going to play. You go try it. You want? Hey, Donnell, I have a great new game show idea for you. Donnell Rawlings walks around the city and calls black women the C word and sees how the reaction
They're
goes.
not going to respond.
They will
not respond.
I didn't know that the C word was that offensive until like in my 20s. Like
right. C word to who? For white people.
In general, I didn't know it was.
No,
like
it is.
Like
black
that.
women aren't going to.
And by the way, that's only in America because in the UK,
in the UK they use it for everything.
They use it
means
very
nothing.
loosely.
But it don't sound that bad. We say you kunt. It don't sound. It doesn't sound the same.
That was African.
What? Yeah, that was how do you go to Africa? That was.
You know, this is the problem why I don't want to fuck with y'all no more, man. Y'all too critical, son. Y'all too critical, son. Can I just live and have a conversation with you, motherfuckers?
Yo, Donnell.
Is this camera on me?
Donnell, you know the problem.
Is this camera on me? I'm sick of y'all.
You know the problem. You're not funny.
Damn, Ebro.
Yo, let me tell you, I'm at the point in my career.
You can't even tell them
No,
that.
I'm at the point. I'm at the point in my career now. If you say to your listeners or the public that Donnell Rawlings is not funny, they're gonna immediately look at you like you're a hater, son. Because you cannot back it up. You don't have nothing on TV. You don't have a comedy show where I wasn't funny. And I'm telling you something. I'm not cocky about the acting thing. The acting thing, you know, directors or whatever could like you or not like you. But where I'm cocky and I'm confident and I feel the same way you feel about the way you feel about yourself with radio is on stand-up. Because can nobody take that from me? An actor or a director or a movie house, like, we don't want to fuck with him.
You're funny, though.
No, I know. I don't need
when
you
you
to
say
think
it like that, it doesn't sound like you mean it. And it feels like you're trying to build his ego up.
Come to my show. That's all I'm talking about.
Yo, by the way,
nobody ever lose
what
my.
is that thing
nobody.
in your hand?
I'm
What
tell
is
you this.
that? What did you just
This is a
spray in
thing
your
that my
face?
good friend John Mayer. I was at a poly.
God.
That was a flex.
That's how you know
Yeah,
he's
yeah.
falling off. You have to use name
Damn, you
drops.
just
Well,
said
my
Donnell's
good friend,
falling off? That's disrespect.
my good friend John Mayer. I'm never gonna fall off. I'm gonna die, but I ain't gonna fall
But
off.
no, he made the falling off joke earlier.
But
What is it?
I was at a party and John Mayer was walking around with this little device and we were squirting people with it. And it's like aroma therapy. It's like a pocket aroma
Did you try it, Laura? It's
therapy.
pretty
No,
cool.
let me
Yo,
see.
you're
Little gig.
super.
Can I see?
You're high end comedy now. You're not in the hood no more.
Wow.
No, it's a thing like. And I'm gonna
He
tell
hangs
you
out
what
with
it's
John
good
Mayer.
for. You gotta go to the mic, bro. Let me tell you. Okay. Sorry.
Oh, nice.
Let me tell you what it's good for. Let me tell you what it's good for. Give it to me. Let me tell you
You
what
just
it's
gave
good
it to
for.
her. Now you're taking it right
You
back.
know, this is the situation. You go places,
Okay.
and you know it's negative energy.
Yes.
Or the atmosphere is just not right. You know what I'm saying?
Wait, where are you looking
I mean,
around?
people a little off or whatever, and you feel
Where are
good.
you from?
But
Why
they
do you-
on a different planet. This device. You like, I'll give you an example. Like him, when I get the negatives from him, I'm peaced out. I already
levels
shot him
you.
as soon as I walked in. As soon as I walked in, son, I came out like, wah, lavender, nigga. Rosemary. I rosemary the shit out of you, son. I was like, this nigga gonna need the rosemary right here, son. Wow, peace. Get that peace, son. But it's just a gadget.
How long have you had that?
I only had it like 6 or 7 months.
Be honest, Donnell. Is it amazing sometimes how much other famous people of all generations know you and run up to you excited to
It's
see you?
weird, that's a great question. Because me growing up being fans of like hip hop artists and stuff, like when I grew up, I was a fan of Scarface. When I grew up, I was a fan.
Yeah,
of
you're a bit older. It's
Snoop.
more like Curtis
So
Blow.
yeah, I'm old school. You see the great nigga, I ain't dying it.
Richard
Right?
Roundtree.
Yeah. This nigga here. But it's weird because I used to look at him like, oh my God, I couldn't wait for a Scarface CD or tape to drop.
Well,
so I
you're
go
from
get
DC.
it.
Scarface.
Yeah,
Scarface
he was
is
the
so
shit,
big.
nigga. All I
Ghetto
needed
Boy
was
Scarface so big in DC.
I needed a dime bag and a 22 and Scarface. I was good to go.
That's it.
And it's weird, and I know I'm pretty sure it's because of my relationship with the Chappelle Show. But for me, when I see these guys, I'm like, oh shit, and then they look at me at the same time. They look at me the same. We're like, oh shit,
Now,
But the
it
young
feels
ones
good.
too, but really young artists too, all right? Like,
Yeah,
I'm saying-
but the younger artists look at me. They respect me like an OG. Like I just did a show in California the other day, and it was with all white guys on lineup or whatever. And then I did my show and I did a great job. And then the MC came on and he was like, "Yo, we want to shout out ASAP Rocky and Tyler the Creator." And I thought they was just there just for the comedy show. And the minute I got off stage, they left. They said, "We only came to see you, and you tore that shit down." So
Tyler and Rocky.
now,
said that?
is it
Yeah.
equally as weird when people walk up to you and say you're not as ashy as I thought you would be in real life? Because
Or you're ashier.
Or you're ashier. Is that also weird?
No, a lot of people, here's the thing, a lot of people always, I'm going to be ashy for the rest of my life, and I've had that question. People say, do you get tired of people calling you ashy? I'm like, I was ashy way before the Chappelle Show.
True.
When we were doing the show, Dave asked me, he said, what are you going to do to prepare for the role of Ashley? I said, I'm just going to take a shower and dry off, nigga. Yo, I didn't need no makeup or nothing. I just needed time, son. And that was it. But I embrace it. And I know that question, you asked me that question because I know you have people get a certain amount of success in this business as a certain character. Or
No,
a
I only
certain
asked you
thing.
that question because I wanted people
Okay,
to know
let me
that you was
answer it.
really ashy.
Yeah, I am.
I didn't really care about your answer, though.
Okay. You know.
Yeah, by the way,
No,
yes.
now, real
listen.
talk. One of the biggest travesties, I think, in comedy is the fact that you never got a lotion sponsor.
I didn't.
That's a big
that is
travesty.
But then
terrible.
that would
was.
end his whole thing.
You know what? I went at Carol's daughter. I approached her, Carol's daughter, the company. I just thought it was, but I understand why people might not have took it serious because it was like, oh, it's just funny. It plays on the character. It's a novelty.
I really thought you was going to get like Palmer's cocoa butter or something like that.
that would be a good idea, but a lot of times people don't understand your vision. That's when, like right now, I'm working with, I don't know what you call a makeup scientist, someone that puts all the blends
Like
of
a
colors.
chemist, I guess.
Some type of chemist, and I'm going to come up with this a line called Raw Edge, and it's going to be all natural ingredients, but I'm going to try to move into the man grooming area.
I love that.
So
I love that. That's dope.
Yep.
Now, would you ever get one of them fake hairlines? I've been thinking about it.
Now I've embraced me getting older. I've embraced it.
So you wouldn't come out with the tattoo hairline.
It's too late. I've been looking old so long, right? I couldn't switch up. You know what I'm saying? They like if I had a full hairline, they'd be like, nigga, what movie you about to be in?
now,
You know?
now, the best part of getting old is when you realize that you're older longer than you're younger.
The best part of getting old is getting old. You know what I'm saying?
Not being
like
dead.
the youngins always talking about they always are old head. Don't get mad at me because I'm living, nigga.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? The longer you can call me old head, that means I'm continuing to live. But that's just when we were younger, we kind of felt that way. It's just something we have to deal with. But I will say, as much as these youngins coming up talking shit, and I'm just saying personally on the comedy side of it, sharpen your toolbox. You know what I'm saying? You can talk shit about the older dudes and the ones before you, or it's a different way, whatever. But I will say when I started, we cared about the comedy as a craft, as something you studied, as something you wanted to be good at.
We had Ha Davis on recently. He said he learned the same thing. Like he got in the game through Instagram and doing that. But he's like, yo, I'm trying to do the work. Like, a lot of us that came up
and it's
through
like,
the gram
and I'm gonna tell you, like a lot of the older cats, and I know it's a lot of bitterness. Somebody, you got somebody that's been doing it for 25 years, right? Yeah. And they barely could get past being a $2,000 or $1,000 weekend headliner. And then you got motherfuckers because they got millions of followers, they getting stacked up. You know what I'm saying? But that's just they had a different opportunity. And the frustration comes in, not the fact that you get success because you got followers, that when you don't care about being funny. You don't care about the craft. And a lot of them, they represent on social media, but then when you pay your money to go see them, you're not getting that
they don't
show.
have that skill.
And eventually it's going to come back to bite you. But then you look at it like this. All right, if I could fool people for 2 years, I stack up some money. At the end of the day, with comedy, you just want to be at a point where you can make money off of what you do.
Now, you shouted out Watch Jasmine Brown. She said she was somebody that you wanted to give props to. That's what it said here on my prep, because we did prepare for you to be here.
Jazzy, why?
It said, Watch Jazzy says, who's the best up-and-coming comedian? Donnell shouted out Watch Jazzy, says she is one of the comedians who has given her props. That's what it said.
No, that was Jess Hilarious.
Oh, Jess Hilarious.
Yeah, because I remember, it's an interesting thing. I remember her come up.
Got it.
I remember when she had, and it's so funny when it come up start with your followers, I remember her come up when she had like 10,000 followers, and she DM'd me and she was like, what's up, OG? I'm getting into comedy. Do you have any advice? And that's the only advice I can give you is don't ask for advice. Everything you want to learn about stand-up comedy, you're going to learn about trial and error. You're going to learn about performing. You know what I'm saying? There's no shortcuts to that. I could tell you some stuff that might help you in the business, but as far as you getting your weight up, it's only going to be what you stand up. But, and this is what the young is doing now, they are aggressively putting the energy on being a social star. Some of them not putting the same energy on being a stand-up. But the social star is going to get the money the quickest. But I noticed with her, everybody was hating on her. I saw her go from like 30,000 followers.
Well,
to
the whole what was it? When she went after the Sikh family on the airline,
she
that
didn't
blew
go
up in her face or whatever. Go after her, or she was scared or whatever it was.
Well, what it is like sometimes people take beauty shop and barbershop talk to the streets. You know what I'm saying? It's certain thing. A comedian's mind, we don't think about being socially conscious first. We don't think about being politically correct. We think about what the first thing that sparks funny to you. And the world we in now is so
But here's the
sensitive.
problem: if it's not funny,
If it's not
funny and it's just offensive, you got a problem.
Right, especially.
Yeah, but who's the one?
But if you was to do that same joke in a comedy club
who's the
versus
judge that?
IG,
That wouldn't have been funny anymore.
Who's the judge that though? Who's the judge that? Who's the judge if it was like what you just said? If it's not funny, who's the judge if it's funny? There's nobody say, "Oh, this is funny." He didn't say this and he didn't say that.
But you've been in a comedy club before when someone tried to go edgy funny and it wasn't funny and the whole room just stares at the person blankly.
and they move
It
on to the
wasn't
next
funny,
joke.
but Bob, here's the thing. It wasn't funny to the audience. Some way it was funny to the comedian. Now, he might not have a way to translate that for you to understand it, but if you thought it was funny to you. And as a comedian, anything you think about, it's got to be funny to you first. I can't go on stage and think about, okay, what type of shit you like. I'm looking at you.
But you should think about what the audience likes.
What?
But you think about what the audience likes. If the audience will think the joke is funny.
Bitch comedians think about what the audience likes. Real comedians think about what the fuck they like, and they communicate that to the audience, and hopefully they get it.
See, but I think y'all talking about different things, though.
Because she wasn't in a club. It's different when you're on social.
Y'all
That's what I'm
talking
saying.
about
Man, I'm
things.
trying to explain it, but every time I try to explain it, you interject with your non-knowledge of comedy, And I'm trying to tell you with my friends.
I'm actually fairly knowledgeable of comedy, and I'm certainly fairly knowledgeable of watching people fuck up on social media.
But you prefer
if you make a joke, if you make, because you're saying what she did was a joke, and I think
That's
you're being
not what I
generous.
said. I never said it was a joke. I ain't even finished. How the fuck you gonna tell me I said it was a joke and I never finished saying what I was saying?
Okay, finish, Donnell.
Before
finish.
now, you know I smoke weed. I done forgot what the fuck I was talking about because you want to say that. What I'm saying is that shit. Okay, it was offensive to the Sikh community.
No,
But
it's offensive to everybody.
who you want to talk to?
I'm talking to you.
So
I'm still here. I'm allowed to jump in. I was saying, I'm adding that was not just offensive to Sikhs. That was offensive to everybody.
I've been to those post-production meetings and I know what you're doing.
I'm not doing anything. I barely talked this interview. I've let you go on.
You're the battery pack guy.
Wait, I'm not.
You're the Duracell guy.
I'm not doing
The
that.
point, what I'm saying
Go
is,
ahead.
when she did that joke, I don't think she meant it with any ill will. I don't think she was trying to be offensive. I think part of it was ignorance. And part of that ignorance is not knowing the difference between a Muslim and someone is Sikh.
Right.
And that's ignorance. That ignorance comes from when you see a turban, whatever, you just associate with a certain thing. The same way you motherfuckers see somebody with a do-rag on. You see a motherfucker with a do-rag on, oh, this motherfucker about to rob me. Oh, he hood. Nah, he might just be wanting to get his ways right. You know what I'm saying? And that's what it was.
You started what you were saying by talking about how comedians start with what's funny to them and
Right.
using barbershop talk and things that are talked about in a smaller environment.
Right.
And sometimes take
An
it to
environment
a
that's
larger,
comfortable with, they would have understood it. That's
And
what it
then
was.
taking it
So
to
I
a-
do understand what you're saying.
And I said, what you're saying.
That's
Okay.
what I'm trying to get. That's
Okay,
what I was
yeah.
trying to
Yeah, I think
unpack.
that's what we're all saying. Like, in the
But
case,
the only way you learn from stuff like that, you got to get stung. She
And
knows
she got
now.
stung.
Yeah, no,
she
for
got
sure.
stung.
Yeah.
But she didn't get stung enough. It wasn't
But
going to
she's
stop her.
definitely funny.
She's funny.
And
she's
she
a good
definitely
person.
took her.
But this is
she
what
definitely took it serious, right? Like she learned
and this
from
is
it.
this
Yes,
is
for
this
sure.
is why I speak on her. You know what I'm saying? Because you know, as much as you want to say, oh, these social media stars, they ain't shit. Yo, it's a certain amount of discipline you have to do that shit.
Yes, 'cause
To
if you
do
make-
it every day, to understand your analytics and all of this stuff. How do I get from here to here? Because I know when I get here, I'm going to make
You
money.
mean as far as growing her following?
Yeah,
on
growing her
Instagram.
followers.
right, and not
Yeah,
making
it's
a
a-
mistake. Because
that-
like you do it so much, and you don't want to, and then one day you say the wrong thing, and all of a sudden,
Yeah, all
You're
of a
a
sudden
rap.
it could be like that. But you know, people like her, those type of fans, they so organic, so true that you won't stop them from making money as a stand-up. Now, a network or something like this, oh, we can't really work with her because she said that. But they'll
she
still
had,
have their
did
base.
she end up losing that, or did she get it back?
No, I think she's okay.
Lose what?
Got what?
She had a TV situation that she was in. that
No,
was
the
in
Little Rail
jeopardy.
show, they got canceled. The show
But
she
not
was
because
on.
of her. It just
Oh,
got
she got
canceled.
No, it just got canceled.
Yeah.
Yeah, it got
Love
canceled.
Rail, man.
But I'm
He'll
saying,
get more.
but
Yeah,
you
he
know,
will.
back to her, and like she puts the work in. She puts the work in on every facet of her career. She puts the work in on the stand-up. She puts the work in on the acting. Everything.
Random question, Donnell. Are you friends with Marlon Wayans?
Yeah.
When you guys get together, is there any air in the room? How does anyone get a word in edgewise between the two of you?
This is the difference. We respect each other.
So how dare you?
I'm just saying, this is the difference.
The difference in what?
Between you and Marlon Wayne.
And, yeah, I'm saying we respect each other, and then what we do is like we let each other complete our thoughts.
I don't believe that.
You know, you don't act. Are you an actor?
I've acted in things.
What's the number one thing that you must know about acting?
Is that, are you really acting?
No, are you listening?
Listening is the key to acting.
You're not a listener.
Yes, I am.
You're not a listener.
Donnell,
You're
Donnell, how can you say, you literally show up here. I have interjected 4 times. You have talked for the better part.
14.
No, I have not. I know because I've barely been paying attention. And
Not listening.
I'm joking. I've been paying attention the whole time. It's been very funny.
But that wasn't funny.
Because it hurts your feelings. And every time I talk,
That
you get
joke
mad at me.
wasn't funny.
Every time I talk, you get mad at me and say I'm not listening.
No, I don't.
I've been listening to you the
No,
whole time.
I didn't get mad at you.
Interjection's not
I
listening.
didn't get mad at you. I got expressive.
It's a good way of putting it.
Yes.
But I always listen to you.
love
And you know
that.
what the problem is?
I love
You
Donnell
come at me.
interviews.
Let's be real though. Donnell comes at me.
Never do that. You're
No.
a Washington Redskins fan. It's not. It's
Yeah,
not.
yeah, you still come at me.
It's a certain level. I'm going to take it.
Only so
with you.
far.
Yeah, because
Oh.
you're a Redskin fan. Like if we got in a fight and for some reason I was beating the shit out of you.
Why would that happen?
I'm just saying for some reason. I gave the
physically-
benefit of the doubt that you might beat me up.
No, you didn't.
I said if
No,
some,
and for some reason.
for some reason. The other reason could be you could fuck me up.
Okay, thank
but
you. It
if
was implied.
But if I was, winning the fight, if you yelled out hell to the Redskins, I would stop beating the shit out of you. It's like, that's it. That's the relationship.
How
That's
do
the
you, how
that's
do you
what
reconcile being a Redskins fan with that racist
How do I
logo
what?
and all of that?
Because I was young, a Redskins fan, and we never looked at it like that. And I know people like, oh, you shouldn't support them, or whatever.
Can't you evolve?
No, I can't. I'm going to be a Redskins fan forever.
No,
How long have you
Well,
known
if they
him?
change the what is it, the logo?
No, we haven't.
No, if they did, would you still be a fan?
I'll be a fan either way it
They
goes.
change the name.
To what?
I don't know, something else.
I don't give a shit. They can call them Redskins. I call them the Skins. I don't care.
You be
I just
good.
want some wins.
Gotcha.
The
Call
win
them
skins.
the
Yeah, I don't care how we do it.
And let's be honest, there's
Skins.
no way to justify it. We know it. It sucks.
The Redskins are the only team in the league that we could be up by 30 points with 2 minutes left and you would not turn the channel. You'd be like, nah, all he needs is 3 interceptions, 1 safety,
We could still lose.
a tackle, and then you like, it's never gonna happen. Then all of a sudden, the dude that's watching this, doing the play-by-play, he's naming everything you just said. You like, fuck it, we lost again. But I'm excited. As any Redskins fans, we always get excited at the beginning of the season, but we'll see what happens.
And we have another, are you excited that we have another highly lauded black quarterback coming to Washington?
That makes me nervous.
Why?
Because, man, you know, black quarterbacks, like a lot of black quarterbacks, they're very exciting to watch, but you know, there's no way they're going to stay in the league that long with the things that they do. What was the last?
You sound like a racist. Right now, you sound like the way white people project on the black quarterbacks. You're saying you think they run too much and they're going to get hurt?
That's exactly what I'm saying. That's
I
exactly
disagree
what.
with
But
that
then I was
sentiment.
going to follow that up with, you know, we've had black quarterbacks in the past. They're the pocket quarterbacks. Warren Moon, Doug Williams was one of them.
Yeah, both.
But
You've had
history has,
running and pocket. You've had McNabb.
Yeah,
you
but-
got
yeah,
Russell Wilson right now.
but the
Yeah,
ones
well
that
said.
Randall Cunningham.
Yep, he can do both.
He was
Randall
dope.
was
Yeah,
both?
but it's not too often that happens. And then coming after RG, you just nervous. You say, okay, here we go
Well,
again. But I'm
RG
excited.
was run first and
It's
still
RG3.
wouldn't even stop running and then they would encourage him to run while he was injured.
No, well, they wanted him to stop running. He didn't want to stop running. And then he insisted he was a
I
pocket
say encouraged
back.
because they didn't leave him on the bench.
But
when he
what
was
I
still injured.
think-
No, he
what
shouldn't
I-
have played at all. He was hurt.
He was one thing he wanted to do. He shouldn't have played, but
He wanted to play, though.
he wanted to win.
He wanted to
so
win.
you can't knock. You can't
He
knock
got a bad
that.
haircut.
Can I-
You know,
I just
you
wanna
make
point
bad
out-
decisions
Yeah,
when you
yeah.
have
I
bad
just want to
haircuts.
point out the only moment in which Donnell stopped and said good question to me was when I said, what's it like having so many people come up and tell you how much they love you?
Because you were
No,
kissing his ass
Right
on
on.
purpose.
So I just want to ask you a question. How much was it? Do you enjoy getting your dick sucked?
But that wasn't the question you asked. You said you didn't say the question like how many people love you.
Yeah, I did. I said, what's it like when all these young people come
You know
up
what?
and
This
show
is
love
what
for
we
you?
can do. At some part of the show, everything he said, let's rewind the tape and hear the question he really asked me, and
It's
then the
funny you
second
ask that because
question.
he's having beef with a rapper right now. by
This
the
is
name of
not
Jordan
beef.
Lucas,
This
who
is not
wants him
beef.
to run back tape. on
He's having
something
rap.
else.
He's having beef.
Always.
You don't say.
I don't have that much beef.
No, I
It's
know.
because I challenge people. The fact of the matter is, you dislike Ebro more than me, but he's bigger. So
That's
you
not
have
nothing
to be
do with it.
nicer.
No,
He's
I don't have to be
disliked me
nice to
longer.
anybody.
He's disliked.
He
you
said
disliked him
fuck.
for-
He says fuck that nigga to me. Like
Yeah,
he doesn't talk bad about
and
you
you
on
and I
stage.
privately, when we run into each other off microphone
You guys
at
like,
something,
fuck
we have
Ebro.
a very nice time together.
We have a nice time on the air.
No, I think you've been a jerk. You were mean. You made me feel bad. You didn't talk about beating me up.
No, listen.
You talked about told the story about beating
Now
me
you're
up,
acting
which was
Jewish.
hurtful.
You're acting Jewish in Upper West Side right now. Donnell's only ability to connect with
Times
people.
in our lives,
Exactly.
we all have pain. That's all I'm gonna
We
say.
all have sorrows.
Realize.
John, man, thank you, man. You brought peace in this room, bro.
Donnell Rawlings at Carolines on
See you
Broadway
this weekend.
Thursday, Friday, Saturday. 2 shows on Saturday and 2 shows on Sunday.
Yeah, they're
We
gonna be
love
sick
them.
of him by the end of that weekend. That's
No,
a lot of
nah.
Donnell.